Ladies and gentlemen, success is not an accident. It is a product of discipline, strategy, and most importantly, self-control. The greatest battles you will ever fight are not against competitors or circumstances. They are fought within. And if you can master 4 key areas, your mouth, mind, mood, and money, you will unlock a life of wealth, influence, and fulfillment. Your mouth is a gateway to your destiny, a tool that can either construct or demolish the very foundation of your success. Words are not merely sounds. They are forces that shape reality. Every spoken sentence carries the power to create, inspire, or destroy. The ability to control your mouth is not just a sign of wisdom. It is a requirement for those who seek to achieve greatness. Throughout history, those who have mastered their speech have commanded influence, built wealth, and led nations. The world does not reward reckless talkers. It rewards those who understand the value of words. A single well-placed phrase has secured business deals worth millions, while an ill-timed statement has ruined reputations overnight. The difference between success and failure often lies in what is spoken and what is left unsaid. Consider the power of negotiation. The most successful entrepreneurs and leaders do not talk for the sake of talking. They speak with intention. Every word they choose is calculated, designed to persuade, influence, and align others with their vision. They do not waste time on idle chatter, gossip, or complaints. Instead, they use their words to solve problems, close deals, and inspire action. Those who lack control over their speech often find themselves in trouble, either by revealing too much, making empty promises, or speaking before thinking. The power of silence is just as significant as the power of speech. The wise understand that silence can be a strategy. There is strength in restraint, in knowing when to pause, when to let the other person speak, when to withhold information, and when to allow mystery to work in their favor. Many have lost opportunities simply because they felt the need to fill silence with unnecessary words. Those who cannot control their mouth give away secrets, display insecurity, and often talk themselves out of success. Words also have a profound effect on self-perception and personal growth. What you repeatedly say becomes ingrained in your subconscious mind, shaping your beliefs and your reality. Speak words of confidence, and confidence grows. Speak words of doubt, and doubt takes root. Many people fail before they even begin, simply because they reinforce failure with their own speech. Phrases like, "I can't," "this will never work," or "I'm not good enough" become self-fulfilling prophecies. Those who succeed train themselves to speak words of power, possibility, and certainty. How you speak to others determines the quality of your relationships, both personally and professionally. Words can uplift, inspire, and motivate, but they can also wound, alienate, and destroy. Leaders who know how to communicate with authority, yet with warmth, earn loyalty. Businessmen who understand the art of persuasive speaking close deals with ease. On the other hand, those who speak carelessly damage trust, weaken relationships, and create unnecessary conflict. In the world of wealth and success, reputation is everything, and the wrong words can permanently stain an otherwise flawless image. A single careless remark in a boardroom, an unfiltered comment on social media, or an impulsive reaction in public can undo years of hard work. The most disciplined individuals understand that their words have weight and that once spoken, they cannot be taken back. They measure their responses, choose their words wisely, and never allow emotions to dictate what they say. Control over the tongue is a mark of true power. It is easy to speak without thinking, but restraint requires strength. The most influential individuals are not those who talk the most, they are the ones who speak the best. Mastering speech means mastering opportunity. Those who control their mouth open doors that others unknowingly close. The power of words is undeniable. Either you control them or they will control you. Your mind is the command center of your destiny. Every action, every decision, every success, and every failure originates in the unseen realm of thought. The mind is both a battlefield and a workshop, constantly shaping the course of one's life. Those who master their minds master their futures, while those who allow their thoughts to run wild become prisoners of doubt, fear, and failure. The difference between greatness and mediocrity is not luck, talent, or background. It is the ability to discipline the mind and direct its power toward a definite purpose. Every individual is constantly engaged in a silent conversation with themselves. The thoughts entertained daily either strengthen or weaken the path to success. A mind filled with uncertainty produces hesitation. A mind trained in belief and vision produces action. The most successful individuals in history understood that the mind, when properly controlled, becomes the most valuable asset one can possess. They did not allow distractions, negativity, or external opinions to corrupt their mental focus. Instead, they harnessed their thoughts and used them as fuel to propel themselves forward, regardless of circumstances. The world does not reward intelligence alone, nor does it grant success to those who merely wish for it. Success belongs to those who can think with clarity, make firm decisions, and take consistent action. The undisciplined mind is a breeding ground for excuses, procrastination, and inaction. It wanders aimlessly from one idea to another, chasing every distraction and surrendering to every doubt. The disciplined mind, however, operates with laser-like focus. It dismisses thoughts of failure, rejects fear, and maintains an unwavering belief in the goal. Thoughts are like seeds, and the mind is the soil. Whatever is planted will grow, whether it is the seed of success or the seed of failure. Those who feed their minds with thoughts of greatness, strategy, and resilience inevitably build a life that reflects those thoughts. But those who entertain fear, worry, and self-doubt find themselves trapped in a cycle of stagnation. The results one sees in life are merely a reflection of the dominant thoughts held in the mind. Change the thoughts, and the results will follow. External forces will always test the mind. The world is filled with negativity, distractions, and challenges designed to break focus. Critics will arise, failures will occur, and moments of uncertainty will appear. But those who have trained their minds to remain steadfast in the face of adversity will not be swayed. They do not waste energy on what they cannot control. Instead, they direct their focus towards solutions, opportunities, and relentless forward movement. They do not dwell on obstacles. They think their way around them. Most people are unaware of how much control they truly have over their minds. They allow circumstances to dictate their emotions and actions instead of taking charge of their own thoughts. They react instead of responding. They worry instead of strategizing. And they hope instead of planning. True power lies in the ability to command the mind, to filter out what is useless, and to concentrate fully on what is essential. Those who master this skill rise above the masses and carve out their own destinies. The most valuable skill anyone can develop is the ability to think with precision, confidence, and discipline. It is not enough to dream of success. One must train the mind to believe in it, to plan for it, and to execute it with unwavering certainty. Those who understand this truth do not allow themselves to be ruled by fear, doubt, or external negativity. Instead, they take control of their thoughts, direct their mental energy toward their highest vision, and move forward with unstoppable momentum. Mood is one of the most underestimated forces in success and failure. Every decision, every action, and every reaction is influenced by emotions. Those who allow their moods to control them become victims of circumstance, constantly shifting in their direction, commitment, and focus based on how they feel in the moment. On the other hand, those who learn to control their moods maintain power over their lives, navigating challenges with stability and making decisions based on logic rather than fleeting emotions. The ability to stay composed, regardless of external events, separates those who lead from those who follow. The world is filled with individuals who had the talent, the intelligence, and the opportunity to succeed, but failed because they could not control their emotions. A moment of anger has cost people their jobs, their relationships, and their fortunes. A moment of fear has caused people to walk away from life-changing opportunities. A moment of frustration has led many to quit just before their breakthrough. Emotion is powerful, but when left unchecked, it becomes destructive. It clouds judgment, weakens discipline, and turns small obstacles into insurmountable problems. Those who succeed at the highest levels understand that emotions are temporary, but decisions have lasting consequences. They do not allow a bad mood to dictate their actions. They do not make permanent choices based on temporary feelings. They have trained themselves to respond rather than react. Instead of lashing out in anger, they pause and choose their words carefully. Instead of retreating in fear, they acknowledge the emotion but move forward anyway. Instead of quitting out of frustration, they remind themselves of the bigger picture and push through. The ability to control mood is not about suppressing emotions. It is about mastering them. Emotions have their place, but they must be guided rather than allowed to run wild. The most successful individuals use emotions as tools rather than letting emotions use them. They channel anger into motivation, transforming frustration into fuel for persistence. They turn fear into preparation, using it to sharpen their awareness rather than letting it paralyze them. They use excitement strategically, ensuring it does not lead them to impulsive decisions, but rather fuels their enthusiasm for well-calculated risks. Every day presents situations that can trigger a range of emotions. A business deal falls through and frustration threatens to take over. A competitor outperforms expectations and insecurity begins to creep in. Unexpected expenses arise and anxiety tries to take control. But those who have trained themselves to master their emotions do not allow these moments to dictate their actions. They recognize the emotion, process it, and then choose their response. They understand that how they feel in the moment is not as important as what they need to do next. The most dangerous thing a person can do is allow their mood to dictate their work ethic, their decisions, or their relationships. If mood determines action, then consistency is impossible. There will always be days of low motivation, moments of doubt, and periods of discouragement. But champions continue to execute their plans regardless of how they feel. They wake up and work even when the mood is not there. They make rational financial decisions even when emotions push them toward reckless spending. They treat people with respect even when frustration tempts them to act otherwise. A person who is in control of their mood is in control of their life. They do not surrender to anger, fear, or discouragement. They do not make excuses based on emotions. They understand that emotions are temporary visitors, but discipline, focus, and action are what determine long-term success. The ability to remain composed in the face of challenges, to act with strategy rather than impulse, and to push forward despite feelings is the true mark of a winner. Money is one of the greatest tests of discipline, and those who fail to respect it often find themselves struggling no matter how much they earn. Wealth is not about how much money comes in. It is about how well it is managed, multiplied, and preserved. There are people who make millions and lose it all, while others start with little and build fortunes over time. The difference is control. Those who understand that money is a tool, not an indulgence, always have it working for them. Those who treat it recklessly find themselves chasing it for a lifetime, never quite catching up. The undisciplined spender lives in the illusion that more money will solve their problems. They believe that if they just had a higher paycheck, a bigger business, or a lucky financial break, all their worries would disappear. But the truth is, money magnifies habits. Those who lack financial discipline at a small scale will lack it at a larger scale. A person who cannot control a modest income will waste a fortune just as easily. Wealth is not the result of luck. It is the result of controlled decision-making, smart investments, and the ability to delay gratification. Financial control begins with understanding the difference between needs and wants. Many fall into the trap of spending on things that provide temporary pleasure, but no lasting value. The greatest fortunes in history were built by those who lived below their means, reinvested their earnings, and refused to be slaves to lifestyle inflation. They did not spend money to impress others. They did not chase luxuries before securing assets. They understood that every dollar has a purpose, and when managed wisely, it can open doors that reckless spending would close. The ability to control money is also the ability to resist emotional spending. Many people spend when they are stressed, when they are happy, when they are trying to prove something to others, or when they feel they deserve a reward. But money does not care about emotions. It only responds to strategy. The financially disciplined individual does not let impulse dictate their financial decisions. They do not buy something just because they can. They ask whether the purchase aligns with their long-term vision. They invest before they spend. They build wealth before they display it. One of the greatest habits of financially successful individuals is the ability to make money work for them. Those who understand money do not just save it, they multiply it. They do not let it sit idle. They put it into assets that generate returns. They invest in businesses, in skills, in markets that grow over time. They do not gamble on quick riches, but they understand the value of taking calculated risks. They know that true wealth is built through ownership, not through endless spending. Money flows to those who respect it and escapes those who abuse it. The person who constantly complains about not having enough is often the same person who wastes what they do have. The one who always finds a way to invest, save, and grow their money is the one who will always have more than enough. Financial control is not about deprivation. It is about understanding the power of choice. Every dollar spent is a decision, and those decisions either bring a person closer to financial freedom or push them further into financial struggle. Ultimately, money is a reflection of mindset. Those who view it as a tool for growth treat it with care and strategy. Those who view it as something to be carelessly spent find themselves in a cycle of financial stress. The ability to control money is the ability to control one's future. Those who master this skill are never at the mercy of circumstance. They do not worry about the next paycheck, the next bill, or the next financial crisis. They have built a fortress of discipline, ensuring that wealth works for them rather than the other way around. Impulse is the silent enemy of greatness, lurking behind every rash decision, every wasted opportunity, and every moment of regret. Those who act without control over their words, thoughts, emotions, or spending often find themselves trapped in a cycle of mistakes that could have been avoided. The difference between those who build lasting success and those who struggle is not intelligence or talent. It is the ability to resist impulse and make decisions based on strategy rather than fleeting desires. Impulsiveness manifests in many forms. It appears when someone speaks before thinking, saying something that damages relationships, reputations, or business opportunities. It appears when someone makes a financial decision based on excitement or fear, investing in something they do not fully understand, or spending money on luxuries before securing assets. It appears when emotions take over, causing someone to act out of anger, jealousy, or desperation, leading to decisions they later regret. In every case, the inability to control impulse leads to unnecessary losses, wasted time, and missed potential. The most successful individuals in history were not necessarily the most gifted, but they were the most disciplined. They understood the power of patience, of waiting before acting, of thinking before speaking, and of planning before investing. They resisted the urge to respond emotionally to setbacks, to chase every new opportunity without analysis, or to seek instant gratification at the expense of long-term gain. They mastered the art of restraint, knowing that control over impulse is control over destiny. There is no shortage of people who started with great potential but were undone by impulsive behavior. A single emotional outburst has cost people their careers. A single careless purchase has sent people into financial ruin. A single moment of reckless indulgence has destroyed relationships, reputations, and lifelong dreams. The road to failure is littered with the remains of those who could not control their impulses, who acted without thinking, and who let temporary desires dictate permanent outcomes. The disciplined individual, however, operates differently. They do not allow impulse to make decisions for them. They pause before responding, ensuring that their words serve their purpose rather than damage their progress. They analyze before acting, weighing the risks and rewards before making financial or business moves. They understand that emotions are temporary, but consequences last, and they choose to govern their emotions rather than let emotions govern them. Resisting impulse is not about suppressing instincts. It is about training them. It is about developing the habit of thinking ahead, of considering the impact of every action before taking it. It is about knowing that what feels good in the moment is not always what is best in the long run. The disciplined person does not chase every trend, react to every provocation, or make decisions based on temporary excitement or fear. They move with intention, ensuring that every step they take aligns with their larger vision. Patience and control are the cornerstones of true power. The ability to hold back when necessary, to wait for the right moment, and to make decisions with precision rather than impulse is what separates those who achieve lasting success from those who remain trapped in cycles of struggle. Those who can control their impulses gain the respect of others, the stability of mind, and the ability to navigate life with confidence. They are not swayed by distractions, nor are they weakened by momentary emotions. They hold the reins of their own destiny, moving forward with calculated steps rather than reckless leaps. Impulse is a test of discipline. Those who can resist it, who can think before they act, and who can prioritize long-term success over short-term satisfaction will always find themselves ahead. They do not make decisions based on fleeting emotions, nor do they allow urges to dictate their future. They operate with mastery over themselves, and in doing so, they achieve mastery over life itself. Self-control is the foundation of all success. Without it, no amount of intelligence, talent, or opportunity can create lasting achievement. The ability to control oneself, to regulate thoughts, emotions, reactions, and desires is what separates those who live with purpose from those who drift through life at the mercy of circumstance. The greatest leaders, the most successful entrepreneurs, and the most respected individuals throughout history have all shared one common trait: discipline. They did not allow momentary emotions to dictate their actions. They did not surrender to distractions, temptations, or excuses. They mastered themselves, and in doing so, they mastered their destinies. The world rewards those who can stay focused and disciplined despite challenges. It does not favor those who act on impulse, who constantly seek shortcuts, or who let every minor setback discourage them. Those who lack self-control make decisions based on temporary emotions rather than long-term vision. They speak without thinking, spend without budgeting, and react without strategy. Their lives are a series of avoidable mistakes, and they often blame others for the consequences of their own undisciplined choices. In contrast, those who practice self-control do not allow distractions to pull them off course. They do not make excuses. They understand that success is a result of consistent effort, focused action, and unwavering commitment. The undisciplined person operates on emotion, seeking pleasure and comfort in the moment rather than working toward meaningful goals. They procrastinate because discipline requires effort. They indulge in distractions because self-control demands sacrifice. They spend impulsively because financial discipline requires patience. They react with anger or frustration because emotional mastery takes work. Every failure, every disappointment, every unrealized dream can often be traced back to a lack of self-control. Those who cannot command themselves will always find themselves controlled by external forces, by circumstances, by other people's opinions, by their own fleeting emotions. The most successful individuals understand that self-control is not about restriction. It is about freedom. It is the ability to say no to what does not serve a higher purpose. It is the ability to delay gratification in pursuit of something greater. It is the ability to remain steady in the face of adversity, to keep moving forward even when motivation fades, and to choose discipline over distraction every single time. Those who master self-control do not allow their environment to dictate their actions. They maintain composure under pressure, make rational decisions regardless of their emotions, and refuse to be swayed by temptations that pull them away from their goals. The world is filled with distractions, with opportunities to lose focus, with temptations designed to derail success. There will always be easy ways out, shortcuts that promise fast results but deliver nothing of real value. The weak-minded chase instant rewards, only to find themselves stuck in an endless loop of failure. The disciplined, however, understand that real achievement requires effort. They are willing to make sacrifices, to resist distractions, to maintain focus even when things get difficult. They understand that the cost of success is self-control, and they are willing to pay that price. No one is born with perfect discipline. It is a skill developed through practice, through daily choices, through the commitment to staying true to a goal regardless of circumstances. Every great achievement is built on a foundation of self-control, the ability to say no when necessary, to push forward when others quit, to maintain focus when distractions arise. These are the habits of those who reach the highest levels of success. Those who control themselves control their future. Those who master their impulses, their thoughts, their emotions, and their decisions are the ones who build legacies that last. Self-control is the key to everything, and those who possess it possess the power to shape their own destiny. Mastery over one's mouth, mind, mood, money, and impulses is the foundation of true success. Every great achievement, every lasting legacy, and every fulfilled life is built on discipline and self-control. Those who command their words speak with purpose and power. Those who govern their minds shape their reality through focused thought.